One small touch, in the right place, at the right moment, can change how a woman feels around you almost instantly. Not because it looks obvious, but because before she says anything, before she even understands why, her nervous system has already made a decision about you, Sock. And the strange part is, most men never notice the exact second that decision happens. Most men think attraction begins when words start working. It usually begins much earlier, before the compliment, before the joke lands, before she even decides whether she likes your voice. Because the human brain reads physical signals faster than spoken language. A woman may look calm on the outside, but internally her nervous system is already scanning. How close are you standing? How controlled is your movement? Does your presence create ease or tension? That process happens automatically. And psychology has shown this is not imagination. Dasher Keltner at University of California, Berkeley studied how strangers communicate emotion through touch alone. No words, no facial expression, just brief contact on the arm. And incredibly, people identified emotions like sympathy, warmth, and care with surprising accuracy. That means something most men ignore. Sometimes your hand speaks before your mouth does. And if that first physical signal feels wrong, your best words later often do not recover it. That is why some men say everything right, yet still feel forgettable, while another man says very little, and somehow stays in her mind. The touch itself is simple. The lower back, not grabbing, not pushing, just a calm hand placed lightly for a brief second while walking beside her. Through a doorway, across a crowded place, or while guiding movement naturally. Why there? Because the lower back is one of those areas the brain notices immediately. It is close enough to feel personal, but subtle enough to communicate intention without words, and timing changes everything. Too fast feels careless. Too firm feels controlling. Too long feels unnatural. But one steady second, with calm pressure, creates something very different. Because awareness tells her you are present enough to notice her without forcing attention. And mature women notice that instantly, because after years of experience, forced behavior becomes easy to detect. Natural calm becomes rare. But here is where it becomes fascinating. And the real effect is not only where you touch, it is how slowly you remove your hand. Because slow movement tells the nervous system something completely different than sudden movement. Researchers studying effective touch found that slow skin contact activates nerve fibers linked directly to emotional regulation. Those fibers respond most strongly to gentle movement, not pressure, meaning a slower exit often leaves a stronger emotional impression than the touch itself. That is why some gestures feel ordinary, while others stay strangely present in memory. She may not consciously think about it, but her body registers the difference, and often that difference becomes emotional tone. This is why one man feels calming, while another feels awkward without knowing why. Now, the second touch is even more powerful because almost nobody takes it seriously. Holding her hand with both of yours, not dramatic, not theatrical, just during a real moment, especially when she is speaking seriously. One hand receives, two hands hold attention, and psychologically, this matters because bilateral contact creates emotional grounding. Therapists use similar bilateral stimulation principles to reduce internal stress. So when both of your hands calmly hold one of hers, the signal becomes larger than affection. It becomes presence, miss. And presence is what many people rarely experience now, especially from someone who is fully listening. That is why such a small gesture can feel unexpectedly intense. Not because it is dramatic, because it feels undivided. There is also one gesture that often creates silence immediately. Forehead close enough that words stop. No performance, no forced intimacy, just closeness without hurry.